Yo, what's going on, you guys? It's your boy Mod, aka the Mop of Justice, bringing my PCL D-League Season 1 Week 6 Wi-Fi battle versus Storm, coach of the San Diego Sneasels. If you guys enjoyed this, feel free to drop a like, comment, subscribe down below. Now, the Storm, I say this with basically every opponent that I face, but Storm drafted a pretty scary team. Real quick, just going to go over it. He has Magirna, Mega Venusaur, Mamoswine, Suicune, Haxorus, Zapdos, Porygon 2, Bronzong, Girder, Nihilego with Z moves, and Sandslash with Z moves. Now, quick breakdown of my squad. I wound up bringing a Kepiberry Wigglytuff to be able to check either the Nihilego or the Haxorus if it came, with Knockoff Flamethrower, Thunder Wave, and Protect. Thunder Wave and T-Wave are primarily there to stop Magirna and figure out if it's like a Shift Gear set or if it has an Aqua Berry for potentially being able to live a hit from Volcarona. And then Protect, if I see any choice items, I can just scout for whatever they're locking themselves into. I have a Choice Scarf Dugtrio with enough speed to outspeed Shift Gear Magirna, with Edgequake, Night Slash, and Stealth Rocks. I have a Fizdef Chestnut that actually eats a hit from Mamoswine, and Oko's back with Woodhammer. Also has Spikes, Roar, and Super Pain. Super Pain it's probably my best move to deal damage out onto the Mega Venusaur, while Roar makes it so that Magirna cannot set up for free on me. And then I have a Quiver Dance Volcarona with Z Psychic, again, from the Mega Venusaur, alongside Fiery Dance and Bug Buzz. I also have a Mega Latios, which is Reflect-type Calm Mind with mono-attacking Stored Power, which puts in a decent amount of work against his team, especially since he doesn't have a Dark-type. So, and then last month, I have a Tentacle with Rapid Spin, Scald, Acid Spray, and Toxic. Now, going into the team preview, as I basically do every single time that I bring it, I just thought that it was best for me to just lead off with my Wigglytuff, so that, oh, and I'm muted. Let me fix that. There we go. I just led off with my Wigglytuff, being able to scout for items or whatnot is going to be incredibly solid against this team, in my opinion. He predicts this and leads off with his Bronzong, as I'm going to be able to frisk it and find that it's packing a Colbur Berry, so that's very good to know. It's probably going to be crucial that I burn that off as soon as possible. I decide I'm just going to go out into my Tentacle in case he wants a Gyro Ball. He goes for his Stealth Rocks. I decide at this point I'm just going to double back out into my Mega Latios, seeing if he has a Psychic move or something. See what he wants to do about it. He decides to go out into his Mamoswine, predicting me to make that read. And at this point, I'm just going to go into my Wigglytuff. It's purely there just so that I could get information against his team. Turns out that he's a Choice Scarf Mamoswine, so that is really loud. Let me turn that down, actually. There we go. Alright, Icicle Crash is going to do a decent chunk. I know he's locked into it, so I'm just going to go out into my Tentacruel, which can safely eat any one hit. He goes for another Icicle Crash, gets a little decent damage off on me. Obviously, I'm going to be able to get the Black Sludge back, as he's going to switch out. I believe he goes out into his Bronzong, as I decide to just fire off a Scald. It's going to do a decent chunk. Tells me that this is probably a Spadef Bronzong. And at this point, this was kind of a... I mean, I guess he was predicting me to potentially switch out again, but he goes out into his Mamoswine after I revealed the Scald. I'm gonna go for the Rapid Spin just to get my rocks away, because I do not want my Volcarona coming in at half health. And at this point, I'm fairly certain he's just gonna click Earthquake, so I'm just gonna sack off my that's not a Mamoswine. Sack off my Wigglytuff. he fires off an Earthquake, and at this point, I'm fairly certain, or I'm fairly confident that obviously he's locked into Earthquake. I have Latios, which has the Levitate ability, so I'm going to freely be able to just get some setup going on. Get a Calm Mind off as he's going to go out into his Magearna. We're going to get the Mega Evolution off. So we're going to get that off. I'm going to be able to go for the Calm Mind, so I'm going to be able to eat any one hit. Especially since, as you guys are going to see, come on, come on. I revealed the Reflect type, meaning that I am now a Steel Fairy type, which means the Flirt Cannon that he's going to fire off is going to do absolutely nothing. That did almost 30. And at this point, I'm fairly confident that I could just Calm Mind up on this thing. And depending on rolls and luck or whatnot, I should be able to just win right now. He's going to fire off a Thunderbolt, which he's at -2. I'm at +2. That's going to do absolutely nothing. He's going to get the immediate paralysis, which is kind of troublesome. But at this point, I can freely... I felt as though if this is the best thing that he could go for against me, I can easily just get off a couple more Calm Minds just so that Store Power will actually be doing decent damage against his team. So, I believe I just go for the Roost right now because I didn't want to risk a crit, which I believe crits would ignore not only my Spadef boost but also his special attack drop. So, he's going to keep clicking that a couple times as this is Calm Mind number 4, I think. And at this point, I'm just thinking, because basically I'm just setting up because even at +4, I'm fairly certain, depending on his P2 spread, I would not be able to 2-KO his P2 with Store Power. So he's just going to fire off Thunderbolt a couple more times. I'm going to get a 5th Calm Mind off. And at this point, I'm fairly certain it's just good game. Because I don't think there's anything he can touch me with. Unless, of course, he finally reveals the Heart Swap. So he is now at +5, and I'm only at +1. So at this point, I'm kind of in a little bit of a pickle. I personally don't really understand why he waited this long to reveal the Heart Swap when I could have easily just 2-KO'd him with Store Power at this point, because well, at that point he revealed that he was an Assault Vest, although I guess at that point he could have been Assault Vest because he never clicked the status type move. But I'm just going to go for a Ruse, get some recovery back, as he's going to fire off a Shift Gear, and at this point I'm kind of panicking because I cannot let this thing get a second Shift Gear off. So at this point, I decide I need to go out into my Chestnut because I don't think he would go for a second Shift Gear that immediate turn, and I need to roar this thing out immediately. So luckily, he decides he is going to try to get a second Shift Gear off, as I'm going to be able to roar that out and go. He goes out into his Nihilego, or Nihilego is dragged out, whatever. At this point, Chestnut cannot live any one hit, so I basically am forced to sack it. But luckily for me, he gets a Beast Boost, which is only a special attack boost. It doesn't matter if he's Choice Scarf or Shukaberry or whatever. I could easily go out into my Doug Trio. He literally has to be Focus Sash to be able to live this hit. Let's see if he's Focus Sash. He is not. So Nihilego is going to go down. Shayquaza is going to be able to get a kill. Very nice. As he's going to go out into his Bronzong, which kind of screams that he was probably a Choice Scarf for Nihilego, knowing that I'm now locked into Earthquake. This Bronzong probably has Levitate, so This was such a massive misplay on my part. I decide he's probably just gonna try to get off his rocks, right? So I'm just like, you know what, screw it. I'm just gonna go hard into Volcarona and just start pressing buttons, because that Magearna, in my opinion, the misplay with Magearna waiting so long to click Heart Swap was kind of mind-boggling. So at this point, I wasn't playing to the... I was kind of on tilt at this point. So, unluckily for me, on the turn that I decide to go into Volcarona, he's going to fire off a Rock Slide, which, it's 4 times super effective. That is going to one-shot my Volcarona, and at this point, I am really in the back, because my main win con is paralyzed, and he still has the Choice Scarf Mammal Swine in the back. I basically have to bring my Latias out to try to hope that I can do damage, as I'm going to try to Reflect type his Bronzong so that I can get the Steel Psychic typing. And I'm just going to try to start firing off Calm Minds as he goes into his Magearna. And at this point, I basically need to outplay, or basically, so what happens here is that Magearna is basically the biggest thing that is stopping me from winning with, so basically my thought process is that if I could get a Reflect type off on Bronzong and get rid of this thing, then Mega Latios still has a really solid chance to win. So I go out on my Latios to bait out the Magearna, right? And at this point, basically what I'm trying to do is that I was trying to bait out the Flare Cannon, so that he would be at -2. Because if he's at -2, I could guaranteed live any one hit from Dugtrio, or with Dugtrio. And I need to get off an Earthquake and get rid of this thing. If he wasn't Shuckaberry, it was a roll to kill, but it was in my favor. Luckily, he wasn't Shuckaberry or Shed Shell, so I am going to be able to get the kill, as he's going to go out into his Mamoswine, and at this point, I don't need Dugtrio for anything else. Dugtrio has done his job. I'm just going to fire off an Earthquake, try to get off as much damage off on this Mamoswine as possible, as he's going to fire off an Icicle Sphere. Obviously, that's going to be able to kill me. So, at this point, he's locked in Icicle Sphere, so I'm going to go out into my Tentacruel. And at this point, he's going to withdraw out into his Venusaur. And basically, I'm just going to fire off his Skull, because if he potentially stays in for whatever reason, and I could get rid of the Mamoswine, then that's basically GG. Or if I could catch the Bronzong. Either way, he's going to go out to his Mega Venusaur on the Scald. Afterwards, he's going to Mega Evolve, as I'm just going to go for the Acid Spray. It's my best move to hit this thing, and basically, the idea behind this is that I need to make it so that I can try to 1v1 this thing as best as possible. If I can potentially kill it off, all that he will have left in the back is the Mamoswine, the Porygon 2, and the... I'm drawing a blank. What's the last one? Oh yeah, the Bronzong. So, I need to go for Acid Sprays, keep trying to wear this thing down, as I just keep spamming Acid Spray. You know, it's really weak, but it's doing a decent amount of damage. He fires off an Earthquake, which is a metric chunk, and at this point, he fires off a Sludge Bomb. I don't really understand why he was predicting me to go out into my Latias. So, at this point, I'm going to be able to bring it down to really, really low, as he's going to fire off an Earthquake. Now, at this point, so this is kind of problematic, because I'm not even certain that Store Power at this range will kill this thing, right? So, basically, obviously, he's going to go for the Sludge Bomb, which does a decent chunk to me. I get fully paralyzed. Okay, that's problematic, but at this point, there is still a chance that I can win. however slim, but I basically have to go for it at this point. So I need to reflect type this thing, just so that he can't potentially leech seed me. He goes for the sludge bomb. I go for the ruse, get some recovery back. And basically, what's going to happen at this point is that I'm going to be clicking a combination to be the Calm Mind Roost, trying to set up on this thing as best as possible, while making sure that I am out of range of an Icicle Crash from Mamoswine. Because basically, if I could get set up enough, I could still very much win this. Unfortunately, he's going to get a crit, and I get fully paralyzed, so at this point, I'm forced to click Roost again. I'm going to be able to Roost off, get some HP back. Just going to click ahead a couple turns, because there's not really much that's going on. It's basically, he's trying to beat me, I'm trying to set up, while trying to maintain decent bulk. He fires off a Sludge Bomb. Get some damage off. No biggie. I think at this point I was +1 or +2. I think I combined only get 2 Calm Minds off. As he's going to fire off a Synthesis, which, at this point, you know what? It's fine. As long as I can get enough HP back, and I get fully paralyzed. As long as I am at a decent amount of HP before I kill this thing, it means that he has to risk an potential Icicle Crash on Mamoswine. Because I believe from Calcs he was a Dolly Mamoswine, so Icicle Spear, if I'm at near max HP, should not be able to kill me unless he gets 5 hits. Which, at this point, if he gets it, great, then at this point I deserve to lose anyways. So I get fully paralyzed as he's just firing off Hidden Power. I'm assuming that's Hidden Power Fire. Since obviously I'm a grass type now. But get some Roost off. No biggie. I finally go for the Store Power on this thing. And at this point, so Venusaur goes down. At this point, he goes out into his Mamoswine, and it comes down to this, basically. Because I'm set up enough to the point where I could 2-KO anything in the back. I can literally set up for free on the Bronzong. But as you guys are going to see, he gets 3 hits. I live! Do we break through? We do not break through. So, unfortunately, that means we're going to lose. It probably would have been a lot easier if I didn't get T-Bolt paired on the very first Thunderbolt pair. Or on the very first Thunderbolt. But in any case, good game to Storm. The hacks definitely kind of hurt. I was really hoping that we could topple the last undefeated team in the league. So unfortunately his streak continues. Hopefully at some point somebody can stop this madman. But in any case, thank you everybody for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you did, feel free to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys next week when we take on my good friend Lieutenant Gold, aka Dorian, and his Victory Road Victinis. So, peace out everybody.